Hello everyone, this is Ray Savage with Cambium Networks. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. Today we have a very special webinar. Our guest speaker is Mr. Chetan Habale. He is the Global Product Manager for all of our Wi-Fi solutions. And Chetan will be providing us information on the latest developments in our Wi-Fi portfolio. During the course of the presentation, if you do have any questions, you can use the question and answer dialog box on the right-hand side of your screen. All you have to do is type in your question, and we will be able to present them during the course of the presentation. The presentation is being recorded, and it will be available on the Cambium Networks community sometime later today. So without any further ado, Chetan, are you there?
Hi, Ray, I'm here. So
great, I can see your screen, so we're all ready for you.
Okay, perfect. Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time zone. Thanks for making time to join our webinar today. Before we get started, just a brief announcement. We originally intended to have this webinar to introduce our next generation of product, the R190. But we've postponed that decision out by 2 weeks, and we'll make an announcement on that product in as part of our cnPilot 2.0, which is launching on May 16th. So I'd invite all of you to join our announcements as part of the cnPilot launch on 2.0. We have lots of new product announcements coming, lots of new cool features, and we'll debut the home router R190 as part of that announcement. But what we want to do on this webinar is go through our home router, explain some of the motivation, how you can make your return on investment on the home router in general, and everything that we say on this webinar will apply to the R190 as well. So it's still we still hope to give you a lot of good information here, lay out the motivations, and also give you a little bit of the philosophy of how we're going about developing these home router line of products. Before we go into the actual product and features, one of the things that we noticed serving the wireless ISP industry over and over is many of our customers came to us and said that one of their most common problems that they often notice is people get the internet wireless service from our wireless ISP customers, but then procure their own home routers and then proceed to report, ask for support calls, indicating things aren't working, and the ISP has no idea what's going on inside the home. This picture here, incidentally, is from Comcast, so it's not a condition that is unique to our wireless ISPs. It's a condition unique to most serving ISPs. And in our own anecdotal surveys of our customers, over 70% of the support calls, at least many of our major customers have told us, come for things that aren't really the ISP's issue, but the ISP is nonetheless expected to resolve that issue, because at the end of the day, almost 100% of the traffic that goes on the internet these days originates from a Wi-Fi device or a Wi-Fi router inside the home, and the ISP, by not having visibility into what's going on inside the home, is often left to fend for calls that happen indoors. And even if the ISP doesn't really, even if it's not really the ISP's problem, at the end of the day, people blame the ISP when their home router isn't functioning and they can't get access to the internet. So all of this is an ongoing problem, not just in the United States, but also in the rest of the world as well. I've spoken to ISPs as far out as Nepal, and it's the same issue where the ISP brings service up to the door, and by not covering that last inch or last meter, they leave themselves exposed to lots of issues inside the home and having no visibility to how to resolve those issues. So the problem itself is an opportunity. There was a recent survey from XLAir that indicated that up to there's a $6.5 billion opportunity all around the world with ISPs being able to offer managed home Wi-Fi. in their survey, at least 15% of the respondents responded that they'd be willing to pay upwards of $30 a year. That's really low fee compared to a lot of the actual fees being charged. But nonetheless, they'd be willing to pay more than $34 a year for ISPs to come in and manage and provide the indoor home equipment. And so really the rest of this presentation is focused not so much on the router itself, but what it can do for an ISP or anybody providing service inside the home. How can they bring the money in and how can they save money? And that really is the two dimension along which they can make their return on investment. So in the rest of the presentation, we'll focus on three key things. We'll focus on how Cambium with its end-to-end wireless play can serve those ISPs, bringing internet wirelessly to the home, being able to drop that internet wirelessly through the indoor managed home router. And then we'll also explain that in the context of our frictionless adaptive architecture, how the home router plays into that. And then how do you make the money, the big question at the end of the day for all our customers. So before we get launched on that, we've been developing our Wi-Fi product line along three legs: frictionless operations, adaptive architecture, and affordable quality. So we're really producing products at the intersection of these three things. Especially our home router line of products are extremely affordable given the amount of features made available, especially the software features available, and we'll continue to innovate on that line going forward for the rest of this year as well. With frictionless operations, we'll touch upon features like zero touch and ezDetect on the home side. With adaptive architecture, we'll talk a little bit about the cloud and all the different ways you can manage the home router. And we'll tie all of that in how we're making all of this affordable for the ISP. Here's an example of what Cambium can do wirelessly. If you're at the end of the day looking to connect your customers to the internet, Cambium offers point-to-point long-distance links. One of our recent records that we tested out in the Wyoming area is a 245-kilometer long-distance link that on an unlicensed band that can carry voice and video traffic. Over such links, we are able to bring a point-to-multipoint solution, the last mile access wirelessly to the edge of the house or to the roof of the house. And then from there, we're able to drop an Ethernet line in and then hang a home router off of the end of that Ethernet line, bringing service all the way into the home. But not just the home, in many parts around the world, especially in South America, in Latin America, in Asia, we're able to do this for public Wi-Fi hotspots. We're able to extend this architecture to the enterprise. And now, with our CM reach of products, we're also able to do this to the industrial Internet of Things. So as part of this end-to-end wireless architecture, on this presentation, we'll focus on the home router. Now, one interesting thing with our wireless line of products, whether it's the PTP, the last mile PMP or ePMP, and the Wi-Fi, we have a very unique solution in that they're all managed by one common management system called cnMaestro. On the Wi-Fi portfolio itself, we have our enterprise grade of products and our home grade of products. cnMaestro is available both in the cloud and hi, Ray.
Yeah, it sounds like we've picked up some interference along the way. I'll work on it, Chetan. Please proceed.
Okay, thank you. So on the, okay, that sounds better already. So with the home line of products, we've got the two products. One is called the R200, which is a 802.11n single band router. And the other one is the R201, which is the 11AC dual band home router line of products. And to that, we'll add the R190 in the mix, and we'll talk about that in 2 weeks. On all of these routers, we really have, it's a 4-in-1 router. what this router can do is it can offer a PoE out to power the subscriber module or the CPE on the roof. It comes with 4 LAN ports and a USB port. It also comes with an ATA functionality delivered through 2 FXS ports, so you can connect your phone or your fax machine to this router. And of course, it's got the basic wireless router functionality as well. Now, all of this is mixed and can be managed with cnMaestro. While we do recommend cnMaestro, you're not necessarily required to use cnMaestro. You can still manage these routers with a TR69 based management system. And the way this would work in the installation and in an actual deployment is by being able to power the SM on the roof. And now this gives the the ISP visibility into some of the traffic operations that are going on inside the home. It also gives them some advantage in terms of being able to offer voice services. Many times ISPs bring in internet service, and services like voice are over-the-top traffic that go to providers like Vonage. And now we have ISP customers who are now able to offer voice service and able to turn a portion of those dollars that were flowing to the Vonage of the world into their coffers. So the way you make the return on investment on these routers is really in not just 2 ways, really 3 ways. One is by having a router that mixes the ATA voice functionality with Wi-Fi. You've now avoided having to have 2 devices inside the home. It's in one convenient device. By having a PoE, you're able to now also integrate the power out function into the router itself. And then by being able to offer voice service, you've now created a new line of recurring revenue. Even for our ISP customers who don't offer voice service, they're still able to collect recurring revenues by leasing these routers monthly in many cases. And then, of course, at the end of the day, there's a hidden way in which you make your return on investment, and that's by money saved on troubleshooting. As most of you know, a site visit can pretty much cancel all of the investment made on the router. So one site visit saved is pretty much money returned on your home router. And we'll talk about how we help you reduce the probability of site visits with features such as ezDetect next. So ezDetect is a feature on cnMaestro. This one gives you a very quick insight into an end-to-end wireless view. You see all the way from the clients connecting to the Wi-Fi router, to the ePMP CPE on the roof, to the other end of the CPE link, either the access point or another point-to-point link. And this gives you very quickly a very good idea of what's going on in the network. It's often very easy to detect when something is down. It's not so easy to detect where the issue is when you have a reduction in throughput or suddenly your internet speed slows down. And now if you don't have a single management system that gives you that last mile access, your Wi-Fi router and your clients all in one view, you have to poke through multiple management systems and try to figure out where the issue is. With ezDetect, in addition to that end-to-end view, you can identify your client devices by manufacturer type. You can run real-time scans on the Wi-Fi equipment, and you can do layer 2 deep dive packet capture as well. So all in all, this is a feature available on cnMaestro, and one of the ways we make everything affordable is this is a free feature. There are no license fees. It's easily and readily available to you to use this feature, and registration on cnMaestro is free as well. Another way we improve the return on investment is in the very first act, which is the deployment activity itself. With cnMaestro, you can centralize all of your provisioning activity. You can set up all of your configuration, everything ready to go even before you ship the equipment to the field. One of the benefits of this is you don't need to train everybody in every aspect of device detail. You can train only a couple of people to do the centralized provisioning in the data center. Often, many of our ISPs outsource the installation activity itself, and so the installation activity itself can occur at a later date. And when the equipment is placed in the field, it automatically talks to cnMaestro, registers, onboards, gets the right configuration, gets the right software, and is ready to go. So by automating this with zero-touch features, what we've done is the site engineer doesn't need to configure the home router. Everything is already set up. All of the provisioning can be centrally controlled. So just to summarize, we help you make recurring revenues with voice service or being able to lease the router, being able to reduce the OpEx with features like ezDetect, and then behind all of this, we have Cambium. Behind all of this, we have Cambium support. To our ISP customers, we offer Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3 support. You can talk to other community members on our forum. Our forum is growing actively by the week. And so it's an unmoderated forum. If anything goes, and you can exchange information with your peers around the world. And of course, last resort, you have Cambium field engineers to come on site and debug and troubleshoot with you as well. So all of this ties in together with our frictionless operation with zero touch, ezDetect, a very adaptive architecture that allows you to manage it from the cloud or with TR69. And all of this, again, at a price point that's highly affordable for the quality of features and software that is available on these routers. So here's a snapshot from cnMaestro of our entire cnPilot portfolio. This includes both our enterprise and our home line of products. A lot of what you see here in North America is our home line of products, and we've been growing in the last 15 months since launch. We now have pretty much grown to cover every continent around the world. So one last point, it's not just the product advantages. We talked about support. So with Cambium routers, you get all of the full featured support, everything from self-support, community support, to Cambium's 24/7 Tier 1, 2, 3 support. The team that's developing these routers and our enterprise line of products come from a very successful track record in building Wi-Fi and cellular products. And so the team will continue its innovation. The routers we're shipping today is just the start of an entire pipeline of products. While we're not at liberty to talk about our long-term plans, I can say that we've got some very ambitious plans to change the indoor home networking environment and make it ever more easy for ISPs to deploy Wi-Fi indoors. So before I go too far, let me see if there are any pause and see if there are any questions.
Yeah, Chetan, we did have one question come in, and that was about how many modules can a cnMaestro system monitor at one given time?
The cnMaestro system itself is designed to really, at the end of the day, manage hundreds of thousands of equipment. It's designed to handle the Internet of Things. On the Wi-Fi equipment or any of our access points, currently it can manage up to 4,000 devices per account. On the cloud, this is unlimited. If you're deploying a cnMaestro on a server, it can manage up to 2,000 devices at the moment. And it's available as a free software that you can download from our website.
Yeah, and I know on the community there's already a number of people who have crossed the 1,000 nodes being monitored already. We give out a free t-shirt for each one of those. We also have a question that just came in. Does cnMaestro use TR69 to communicate with the routers?
No, cnMaestro itself does not use TR69, and actually that's a very good question. Let me go a little bit into how cnMaestro works. cnMaestro uses HTTPS protocol, so SSH over HTTPS. So the management communication system between Maestro and the equipment is secure end-to-end. It also does, it's the same protocol that your bank uses, for example, to keep your financial transactions secure. One of the other interesting things is we've ensured that it is the device that contacts cnMaestro over HTTPS protocol. So what that does is you don't have many issues usually in trying to open firewall ports, because those are open by default for HTTPS traffic going out from the network into the internet. And because it's the device that talks to cnMaestro, it reduces or removes the probability, the chance that your device could come under denial of service attacks. Because cnMaestro itself is in the cloud behind a robust firewall, and no one else can contact the device directly pretending to be cnMaestro. So the device registers with cnMaestro. By reversing the protocol, we've avoided some of the common pitfalls that you see with SNMP-based monitoring, for example. So that kind of gives you a taste for how we've designed the management system. This is a ground-up design management system, uses the same security protocols, database innovations that you see on Facebook or on the Google backend. And going back to the person who asked the first question, that's how we're able to design the system eventually, because our goal eventually is that it can manage hundreds of thousands of devices. And because it's in the cloud, its scalability is practically unlimited.
Great, thank you. We also had a question about Zero Touch. Is this available now, and are people using it in the field?
Yes, Zero Touch has been available in the field, has been available from day one, and people are using it in the field. So if you haven't tried it, please do try it. It's really all about ensuring that you can set up your equipment and centralize and manage all of the configuration files on cnMaestro first, and then being able to ship out and install later. And in fact, this is true not only for our home router line of products, but also for our enterprise line of products as well.
Great, thank you. I think those are all the questions we have in queue. You can continue now.
Okay. So all in all, it's been a very exhilarating ride for the last 15 months since we launched this product line. We'll announce the R190 coming up shortly in about 2 to 3 weeks, specifically, in fact, on May 16th. We'll make that announcement. Also, as part of that, you'll see us announce a number of very interesting features on our enterprise line of products, including features like managed services. So please register for this event and stay tuned. This will be a virtual launch. In other words, we'll be doing this on the web. So you can join from wherever you are and at any time convenient to you. So with that said, I look forward to seeing you all again on May 16th. And thanks for your time on this webinar.
Thank you very much, Chetan. Thank you, everybody, for your time. The webinar will be posted sometime later this afternoon to the community. We look forward to seeing you at a future event and future webinar. Thanks, everybody.